So tell me what happened.
On February 14th, I was driving to work and I don't remember what caused it, but I somehow slammed into the back of a semi truck going at a high speed. I just remember a loud bang, and that's it. Apparently, I swerved at the last second, which probably saved my life, but I am left paralyzed from the chest down and with no function in my fingers.
Do you remember anything about what caused the accident?
I do not remember anything about what caused the accident. I remember being on my way to work, getting on 485, and then waking up in my car with the window smashed and someone holding my head still, telling me, don't move, you've been in a bad wreck.
What's your actual medical diagnosis?
My medical diagnosis is C6 complete with an Asia A test result. This means that I was injured at the C6 vertebrae in my neck, and the complete means just that it was a complete severance and that there is a slimmer chance for recovery, along with the Asia A test result, which basically means the nerves from my point of paralyzation to the very last nerve in my back feel nothing. But these diagnoses can change. I may not be C6 complete Asia A forever, and we're hoping for change.
What can you feel and what can you currently move?
So I can feel from about this point up, I can feel my shoulders. They feel normal, my face is normal, my neck feels normal. My arms are where it starts to get a little bit fuzzy. My biceps are good. I can feel 3 fingers in each hand, my thumb, my pointer, and my middle finger. And I can move my arms, move my shoulders, move my head. Can't move my fingers. That's about it. That's about all I can feel. Everything else is either, I can't feel it when it's touched, but I feel pins and needles pretty much all the way down.
What's it like to be paralyzed?
It is a constant practice in patience and humility to be paralyzed. I have to ask for anything I want. I have to wait sometimes for the things I need. And at the same time, you can't really be upset at the people who are taking care of you because they're taking care of you. It's part don't bite the hand that feeds you, and part I love these people. They're doing me good. They're just also living their own lives.
Will you get better?
There are chances for everything. There are chances that my fingers may come back on their own, that maybe one day I could walk again, but there's no way to say yes or no to that question, which is incredibly frustrating, but anything is possible.
You're currently in rehab. Do you know how long you'll be in rehab?
My current discharge date is March 28th, but we're hoping that gets extended because A, I need all the time I can get in rehab to get stronger, to gain more control over my limbs, to regain senses that I don't have, and partly to give my family time to prepare for me coming home, to find that new house, to get it set up, to get the equipment I need. So March 28th is the current date, but we're hoping that that gets pushed out.
How has rehab currently helped you?
Rehab has been amazing. I was so frustrated in the hospital. All I wanted to do was start working, start pushing my body, start seeing what I could do, what I couldn't do, and changing the things that I couldn't do into things that I could do. So being laid up in a bed for 2 weeks was very upsetting to me. But now that I'm in rehab, I can work, I can tone my muscles, I can work on control, I can gain skills that I had previously lost, and it's great.
Have you seen any improvement during your time here?
There has been a significant amount of improvement in the short 2 weeks I've been here already. I can move my arms a lot better than I used to. I can raise them higher than I used to be able. I can feed myself. I can brush my own teeth. I can scratch my nose and wipe my eyes, and those were things that I could absolutely not. I could not even lift my hand up to my chin when I was in acute care. So the gains I've made here in rehab are almost immeasurable, even at this early point, which is why I want to stay as long as I can.
Are there any positives in your situation?
There are some weird positives of my situation. People just want to do things for you when you're in a wheelchair. People just want to help you. It kind of brings out the Good Samaritan in everybody, even parents of other patients that I pass in the hallways. They step aside and give me the right of way. I get to sit down for the rest of my life. I never have to help anybody move again, which, oh my gosh, yay. And I get to go first on planes. I get the free, if we ever go to Disney, I'm just going to be everyone's favorite companion. So there are upsides to this situation. There are weird, almost morbid silver linings. I can find things to smile about pretty easily if I look around.
Where are you going to go after rehab? What's your living situation going to look like?
After rehab, when I am discharged, I will be moving into my parents' house. Currently, they are looking for a new home because the house that they've lived in for the past 14 years is not wheelchair accessible in the least. So we are looking for a new home, and I will be living with them for the foreseeable future.
How much equipment will you need in this new house?
In the new house, once I'm settled in, I will need a fair amount of equipment. I will most likely need a hospital bed, hopefully with a more comfortable mattress. I will need what is called a Hoyer lift, and that's a piece of equipment where you can put a sling under my body and then it will lift me up in the air from the bed to the wheelchair, which is how I need to be transferred since I can't move anything from here down. I'll need to be lifted. I'll need my own power chair. I'll need adaptive equipment to use the computer. I will need a fair amount of equipment once I get settled in at home.
Will you be able to work ever?
I will definitely be able to work ever. My job at this company called CBDMD, they have been amazing. They are just itching for me to get back, even though I had only worked there for 4 weeks before the accident. My boss has visited me in the hospital and told me no matter how long it takes, I can come back to the company. My goal is to be back at work within 6 months. There are so many sets of adaptive software that can use eye tracking, voice recognition, that sort of thing. I've seen other people in wheelchairs using one of those little roller ball mouses that were popular in the 90s, and those seem to be perfect for someone with a limited mobility in their hands like myself. So yeah, I can definitely go back to work. I was working in customer service, answering phones and emails, and there's no reason I can't do that even at my current state.
How will you be able to get around and get to your job?
To get around and get to my job, I will need a specialized van that I can get my power chair into. To get anywhere, I'll need that van. There is an option to use public transportation, but from what I've found from talking to other women who are in a similar situation as myself, they just hate the public transportation. It runs late, you have to schedule it days in advance. It can only be accessed if you live within 3/4 of a mile of a bus stop, which really narrows down the options for where we could live. So we'll need a van to get me around, and then I'll use a power chair once I'm out of the van.
Most important question, how are you feeling overall about everything?
My overall feelings about the situation are complicated and bundled up into a big ball. I think the base emotion is just, this sucks. I miss my old life. I miss roughhousing with my dog. I miss hearing the sound of my cool boots hitting the linoleum in my office. I miss painting, which I've loved for a long time. I miss a lot of things, but then there's layers of gratitude for the people who have come out to support me, and there's layers of humor when I find things about this situation that are funny, and so much love